Well, we bought another car. This is a 1976 MGB, and if you've been watching this channel for a while, you might actually recognize this car. We worked on this car about 3 years ago when I first moved into this shop, and we were still putting the walls together and didn't even have a ceiling in the shop yet. And at that time, I'd done a full inspection, bumper to bumper. It's been a pretty popular video. I know a lot of people have watched that one. Now, if you did watch that video, you'll remember that this was a really solid car, and it was surprising that it was that solid because it came out of Minnesota, of all places. But it also had really old tires on it. They were from 2008 and a couple other small issues, which none of that has been touched on the car. Now, she called me because she said she needed to get rid of the car due to some health issues, and I was originally going to just say, let me get it out to the club, see if we can find a buyer for you. And what do you want for it? And she threw out a very reasonable price. And I even told her, I said, I think the car might be worth a little bit more than what you're asking. But at that price, we would buy it to put my girlfriend into it while we're doing the Green Phoenix, because that Green Phoenix is supposed to be her car. And obviously we haven't been doing much with that lately. The engine's currently at the machine shop, and we're not sure exactly when we're going to be back on that car. So we decided to go ahead and take the wheels and tires off the Green Phoenix, and we put those on here for now, and we can drive this car throughout the fall and however deep into the spring it takes us to actually get back on the Green Phoenix and get it back together and the interior done. So it just so happens we were going to be close to her house that weekend anyway, so we swung by and talked to her about it and took a look at it. I didn't even know she had a hardtop for it, and this was a factory one, so that makes a nice bonus. And we also know that she never did fix the brake line going across the rear axle, which was partially pinched off, so we're going to have to address that here pretty soon. But she said it hadn't been started in roughly a year, and it was hard to start then. And I don't remember if I said it in the video when we worked on this thing, but this being a 76 would have had the Opus electronic ignition on it, which was quite unreliable system that usually didn't even make it out of warranty oftentimes. And it still had the factory distributor in it. It was still working. Well, it died. So once we got it back to the shop, after we purchased it from her, I did some tests, found no spark, checked coil, everything else, said, well, it's got to be in the distributor. Pulled the distributor, found an old points one I had laying around, threw it in there and got it to run. So we know that that's the problem. And it still needs a radiator. And we got a radiator sitting here. We're going to go ahead and put an aluminum one in it, because right now you can buy those off Amazon pretty cheap. Actually, we can put the link in the description for that if you want, because they're actually quite affordable. And we're going to put all new hoses on it too, because there was a leak once we got it running, and we're not 100% sure if it was the hose or the bottom radiator, but we also know the top is definitely leaking. So here's the distributor that came out of it, and after checking out the part number, it is a California only part number, which means this was originally a California car, which explains why it's so darn solid. Now, this is the distributor we're going to put in it. This one came out of the Green Phoenix. It has an Allison conversion in it, and it's going to be perfectly suitable for this one, because it's a 79 actually distributor. It'll be perfect for this motor. Then what we're going to go ahead and do is take the distributor out of my GT. We're going to put that one into the Green Phoenix, because that has been recurved and rebuilt to suit an engine that's almost the exact spec that's going to end up being. And then we're going to go ahead and send another one out and have it rebuilt to suit the new spec of the engine that's in my GT. That way all three cars will have exactly what they need for distributors, and we're only actually spending the money on one distributor rebuild, saving us money overall. So we got ourselves a GPI racing radiator for it. Are they the best radiators in the world? Probably not, but the price is right for what you're getting. They're only like $150 or something like that when you buy them off someplace like Amazon. We're going to get this in here because we got a show we're going to actually try to get this thing to this weekend to give her something to actually drive to a show for once. Since the last time she tried to drive to a show and something was the Green Phoenix, and that's when we found out that oil pressure was going to almost nothing. Interestingly enough, though, when you look up the listing under GPI, they show this going from 68 to 75. They don't list 76, but 76 is the same radiator as the 68 to 75. So one nice thing about this radiator is it does have a drain in it that the originals don't have. But even though they got them in here with some Teflon tape on there, they don't tighten them. So you want to tighten them first before you actually put it in the car. And this one actually is not metric, so we don't have to go find new bolts. But one thing I have noticed with these radiators is the bolt pattern tends to be just a fuzz off, and you'll have to normally take a file or a Dremel and clean out the holes just a little bit to get them all to line up. So also this bracket tends to be just a hair long here, and you have to file the edge of it off here to get everything to line up. But I guess that's the price to pay for buying something cheap and not buying a Mishimoto. One other little issue with these radiators is the way the necks are made. You will have to trim just a little bit off of the hoses in order to get them on there, because they actually extend a little bit further and the hoses will be too long.